Hi, how's it going? Yeah, my rating is still 400 after 2 years. Mom, can you pick me up? Today, it's just me without the chessboard, and I want to talk about the three things that you're doing wrong as a chess improver, particularly beginner and intermediate chess improvers. As a coach with over 4 years of experience, I see these mistakes all the time, and it's time to put a stop to them and get you on the right path to improvement. Let's go. Number three is going to be buying tons of chess material like courses or books or stuff like that, because the mistake here that you're making is assuming that chess improvement is proportional to the amount of money you invest. So I see this on forums everywhere. People go, "Oh, I spent thousands of dollars on chess. Why is my rating still the same?" And what ends up happening is, first of all, you buy the wrong course slash book for your level because you're not aware of which ones you need. And second of all, you never maybe really finish any of the courses or books. So it's important not to fall into this trap of thinking it's proportional to the amount of money you spend on chess. Don't get me wrong, courses and books can be absolutely incredible, but we have to solve that misconception of, oh, $300 equals 200 rating or something like that. What I do recommend is that you find a great coach who really knows what you need for your current level, and then either get a course or a book or lessons from that coach in that topic. And please go one at a time. Don't buy 4 courses and dabble a little bit in each of them. That's not going to work. Go one course at a time, finish it all the way through, and apply it in your games. The real power and the results come from the application. Number two is going to be studying opening theory. Now, there is a time and place for opening theory, but it's at a much higher level than you think it is. So I see this all the time where like a 600 rated player on chess.com goes, "Oh, I know so many lines of the Caro-Kann Scandinavian, blah, 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 17 moves deep." But they never see it in their games because their average 600 rated opponent plays the first 2 moves of an opening correctly, and then the third move is something very weird. And they're like, "How do I beat that? That wasn't in the course, blah, blah, blah." But the thing is that at these lower levels, once you start improving, you're going to find that nobody really knows opening theory, and it's all about knowing the basic strategic ideas and the setups, where your pieces go, why they go there. So it's all about understanding why you do the things that you do, much more so than, oh, against this move you play this move. So keep an eye out for that. And I'd like to especially emphasize the importance of understanding the moves that you play. So when you learn an opening, whether it's through YouTube videos, courses, books, whatever, ideally you want to ask yourself why constantly. Hey, why do I put the piece here? And if you're watching like a good YouTube video or a course, book, whatever, the person explaining it will explain also why the piece is going there. Like, what is the purpose of it? What's the potential of that piece, where it's going to go in the future? Why not go elsewhere? Stuff like that. So those bits of information of why are the most important thing when facing lower rated players, because then you'll be able to understand why their move is wrong. So once you play your move and it has a certain idea, if their move doesn't parry that idea, then that's a way to know instantly why their move is a mistake. To make this a little bit more clear, I put a board here. So let's take a look together at, for example, the French defense. Let's get to the main position of the advanced variation to make this a little bit more clear. So the point of this opening is to immobilize white's center and then break it with pawn breaks c5 and f6. That's kind of the strategic idea, because once you do, if you manage to trade off a flank pawn for a center pawn, that's a good trade because we will have more center control. So after c5, white is advised to try and keep their center whole with c3 and f4 later if needed. But what if white plays, for example, knight c3? So your opening theory won't help you here because nobody expects in higher level play knight c3. But simple logical understanding of basic ideas will help you out immensely here. So white wants to keep their center, black wants to crush the center, so knight c3 doesn't really go in white's plans. So black already has an advantage after c takes d, queen takes d4, and knight c6. We're just hitting the queen, and we broke a part of their center, and we're about to break the other one. So as you can see, we didn't need any opening theory or anything, we just needed the basic strategic ideas for both sides, and that guided our play very accurately. So let's move on. And number one, the top thing which is stopping you from improvement is not playing enough chess. So there's no substitute for experience, and what most players do when they're trying to improve at chess is they just go through all the courses, their books, but they don't try to apply anything in their games. They just kind of know it and they think they understand it because it makes sense when you watch it, but to apply it in your games is a little bit different. So make sure that after each course, book, lesson, whatever, you actually go in your games and apply it, like at least 5 rapid games, for example, and really focus on applying it. Sometimes you're going to be able to, sometimes not, but when you don't, try and analyze your games and see what went wrong, and then maybe rewatch the course or book or chapter, whatever. 2 small bonus tips for those of you who stayed until the end. So number 1, we said earlier to apply the things we learned with 5 rapid games. But tip number 1 is actually going to be to change that based on what you learn. So for example, if I learn a new opening, instead of doing 5 rapid games where I'm not going to get much practice of that opening, it's much better to do 20 blitz games, for example. And then I get a lot more of my opening, a lot more games in. I can see if I remembered all the moves correctly in many different variations. I can see the middle game positions, if they suit me or not. So 20 blitz games if you're practicing an opening. However, if you're practicing, I don't know, checkmating with a rook, if you just learned that, then instead of hoping that in your 5 rapid games or 20 blitz games, you're gonna get the checkmate with a rook, it's much better to actually get a board on LionChess and place king, rook, and king, and just challenge the computer to defend. And then you will see how the computer tries to defend, you will see all the nuances, so do that 10-15 times and you will have the technique down. So depending on what you learn, you should change the way you apply it, the way you try to practice it. That's tip number 1. Tip number 2 is going to be to set a goal before each game. This is what I like to do when I practice something new. So I basically say, hey, this game I want to play the perfect opening. And then if I play the perfect opening, according to my theory or whatever I just learned, then I don't care if I blunder my queen the next move, because that wasn't the goal of the game. So regardless of the result of the game, of how I play beyond my goal, doesn't matter. All I'm interested in is the goal. So if I play my perfect opening, but I blunder my queen the next move, I'm calling that a win. That's how you properly apply something without getting frustrated for losing the game or something. If I wanted to practice, I don't know, a new calculation technique that I've just learned, I would also focus on getting a decent opening in, just so I can get to a middle game. But in the middle game, where you have to do the most calculation, I would really focus on that technique and make sure I have it down. And then again, if I blunder my queen the next move, I don't care. So those are some secrets to applying this and maximizing the speed of your chess improvement. Here's a small recap of everything. So if you found the video helpful, drop a like on it, comment to let me know what you think, subscribe on my channel to see more content like this and support me, and I'll talk to you very soon. Take it easy and enjoy.